we have learned about the classification, which is the first stage of arrangement of data. Now it is known to you, classification and tabulation are two stages of arrangement of data. Now, what is tabulation? Tabulation is the second stage of arrangement of data. The process of arranging the data into different groups on the basis of some common characteristics is called classification. Okay. Now, these classified data are put in a systematic way. The process of arranging the grouped data into rows and columns is called tabulation. In other words, tabulation is a process of presentation of numerical data in a systematic and logical way in rows and columns to facilitate comparison, statistical analysis and interpretation. In short, tabulation is a systematic way of presentation of statistical data according to some definite rules. What are these rules? These rules are categorized as rules of table structure, rules of table structure, and second one, general rules. For the guidance of tabulators, certain rules are specified. These rules are categorized as rules of table structure and general rules. Here, when you prepare the table, one has to follow certain rules of table structure. They are: if you take like this, now it is the table. Now first rule is, for each and every table there should be a number, that is table number. Means table number is going on giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Here this table number is used for the reference of the table. When too many tables are prepared, means tabulated, too many statistical data are tabulated in the form of a table, then if they maintain the index number, then it is easy for them to go to a particular table in which they want the information if it is having table number. It must be given above the table left side. Second one is title. Here, title is a small statement briefly explaining the characteristic of the data. A title is a small statement given in a single sentence briefly explaining the characteristic of the data in the table, and it must be given above the table in the middle with different writing. You may use capital letters or you may use different colorings like that. Means it has to be differentiated. And a satisfactory title must be capable of answering 4 questions. First one is what the data are. That means data refers to what. Then second one is where the data occurred. And third one is when the data are collected. And fourth one is how the data are classified. And when you combine the answer of these 4 questions, that is nothing but the title of a table. Okay. Next, third one is head note. Head note. Now, if it is desired to specify the special characteristic of all the figures in the body of the table, then it is given in the head note. Usually, unit of measurement of the data is given in the head note. It may be in millions, in crores, in tons, in kilograms, like that. It must be given above the table right side. Next, fourth one is captions. Here, headings of columns is called captions, and captions are given in the first row of the table. Then fifth one is stubs. Headings of rows is called stubs, and these stubs are given in the first column of the table. And next one is body of a table, that is the most important part of the table because it contains all statistical data or numerical data collected in the investigation. It may be arranged properly, it may be arranged in chronological order, in the order of preference, in ascending or descending order as per their convenience. Okay. Now, after the body, next one is 7, here also 7. Here, rows totals are taken to the last column and columns totals are taken to last row, and when both the sides totals are taken, then grand total is taken to the right side corner cell. Then next one is, eighth one is footnote. If any explanation or elaboration to be given regarding the content in the body of the table, then it is given in the footnote. Usually, expansion for the abbreviations used in the body of the table given in the footnote. Here, we have to accommodate all the informations in a single page. Then means that the table must be given in a single page. That we come under general rules of preparing the table. In that case, we cannot write all the captions and all the steps in full. Therefore, there it necessitates the using of abbreviations. Then when abbreviations are used, then they are given in the expansion for those abbreviations are given in the footnote. And last one, this footnote must be given below the table left side. Last one is source. It is known to you. Under sources of data, we come across primary data and secondary data. When it is a primary data, then no question of source. But when they make use of secondary data, from where they take that data or from where they collect the data, the source, that means the source of collecting the secondary data, that must be given in the head, in below the table left side under source. In the examination, you students, what you may do is, there in case of blank table, there is no question of source, but in case of a complete table, then you have to write the source, because there, that is not the primary data you will going to fill or tabulate. Therefore, there what you may do to write source means, that is just you have to write the title of the question paper and the subject, university, and the year of examination, that you have to write as a source. Okay. Now, this is regarding the rules of table structure. Next one is general rules. Under general rules, we come across, as far as possible, unnecessary details must be avoided, because the table must be given in a single page. If the table is continued to the next page, then it is not convenient for referring the table. Therefore, it must be given in a single page. Therefore, unnecessary details must be avoided. Only relevant data must be considered while preparing the table. and the table must be given in a single page. Therefore, the width of columns and rows must be taken in proportionate to size of the figures. And here, when we have to accommodate more than one characteristic, then we come across means more 3 characteristics, 4 characteristics, like that. Then we have to take subcolumns and subrows. Therefore, in order to differentiate between subcolumns, main columns, subcolumns, main row and subrow, here in order to differentiate those, we have to draw different lines, means double lines may be drawn, or color in different colorings may be used, but anyhow you have to differentiate between main column or row and sub columns and or sub rows. Then unit of measurement must be given in the heading itself, and if they want to specify the special characteristic of any of the data in the body or any figures in the body, then it may be put in circle, square, or it may be attached with the symbol, like that. And one has to see that as far as possible the table must be complete, means it should not be incomplete, and the data of comparison must be kept together or side by side in order to facilitate easy comparison. These are the general rules of tabulation. Now, while drawing or tabulating the statistical data, one has to keep in mind both rules of table structure and general rules. In the examination, if it is asked to write rules of table structure, then you have to write only rules of table structure. If it is asked write a note on general rules, then you need not touch rules of table structure, write only general rules. If it is asked what are the rules of tabulation, then you have to cover both. Okay. Now, when you come to types of table, we come across simple table and complex table. While tabulating, if you consider only one characteristic, then it is called simple table. If you consider 2 or more than 2 characteristics while tabulating, then we say complex table. When it is considered only one characteristic, it is called a one-way table. And if we consider 2 characteristics while tabulating the data, then we say two-way table, or it is also called bivariate table. Bivariate table. On the other hand, if you consider 3 characteristics while tabulating the data, then it is called three-way table or treble table. On the other hand, if you consider 4 or more than 4 characteristics, then it is called manifold table. Okay. Usually in practice we use complex table because it facilitates to accommodate more data. Therefore, here that is easy, because in practice usually we will not be having only one characteristic. It necessitates the accommodation of more than 2 or more than 2 characteristics. Therefore, usually in practice we use complex table. Then on the basis of purpose, we classify the table as general purpose table and special purpose table. Now, the name itself denotes general purpose, means that is for the general reference or general use. Anyone for any purpose may be used those table. On the other hand, special purpose table means that is prepared for a particular predetermined purpose. Therefore, that is also called analytical table. Okay, these are regarding the types of table. Now, when you come to drafting table, now while drafting the table, we have to consider the given number of characteristics and aspects in each characteristic, and we have to keep in mind the rules of table structure as well as general rules, and the content of the rules of table structure must be there. As per that specification only we have to draft a blank table. Whether it is complete table, first we have to prepare the skeleton of the table, that is nothing but the blank table. Therefore, first let us take the drafting of a blank table. If the problem is given like this, draft a blank table, accommodate students of an institution, accommodate the students of an institution according to class, first year, second year, third year, and sex, boys and girls. If it is given like this, draft a blank table. If it is confused, you take fully. Draft a blank table, accommodate students of an institution according to class and sex. Here, how many characteristics are there? Here there are two characteristics. One is class and another one is sex. Here, in case of class, it is given 3 aspects: first year, second year, third year. Means here 3 aspects are there, and under sex, boys and girls, 2 aspects are there. Usually we prefer more number of aspects to columns, comparatively lesser number of aspects to rows. Therefore, by keeping in mind here more number of aspects in case of class, therefore that class characteristic class has to be taken to columns, and this characteristic sex has to be taken to rows. Here when only 2 characteristics are given, then we take one characteristic to columns and another one to rows. Now that we have decided first. Next one, we have to decide the title. Here it is known to you, a satisfactory title must be capable of answering these 4 questions. Means first one, what the data are. Means data refers to what? Data refers to what? Students. Data refers to students. Where? Of an institution. Of an institution. Then when? The year has not given. Just you leave blank. Then how classified? Classified on the basis of class and sex. Classified on class and sex. Now, if you club the answer of these 4 questions, then that is nothing but title. That means you may give the title as students of an institution classified on class and sex. Or you may write in other way also, that is distribution of students of an institution by class and sex. Distribution of students of an institution by class and sex. In both the ways you may write the title. Now, after deciding the title, we have to draw a blank table. Now, here the table is, first you leave the space above, because above the body of the table we have to take table number, title, then head note. They have to be placed in a proper place. Therefore, first you leave the space for those approximately, then you draw the table. Here we need 3 columns plus first one stubs for 1 column, then for 3 aspects 3 columns, 4, last column 1 is total. Means we have to take 3 columns, 3 plus 2, 5 columns, and here 2 plus 2, 4 rows. Now it is like this. We have to take 3, 4, 5. Here 2 plus 2, 4, 3, 4. Okay. Now here in this problem you may give, this is the first table, you may give the number table number 1. Okay. Then title is, I have told you, you may take here in, it must be given above the table in the middle with different writing. Here you may write in capital letters students of an institution classified on class and sex. Okay, this is the title. Then in case of blank table, head note is always nil. Here, because I have told you, usually unit of measurement of the figures taken in the body of the table is given in the head note. Here when it is a blank table, then head note, in case of blank table, head note is nil. Now here we have to accommodate this class to columns, then sex to rows. Okay. Now class you may take first year. Here headings of columns are taken to the first row. Second year, third year, and total. Here you may take sex, boys, girls, total. Okay. Now in the footnote you may give, here we have used the abbreviations. Here year, YR equals year. Then B equals boys. Then G equals girls, and T equals total. T equals total. And I have told you, in case of blank table, there will not be any source. Source is nil. But anyhow, even though it is nil, we have to show all the contents of the table as per the rules of table structure. Okay. Now, here I think you have followed this. Here only 2 characteristics are given. One is class and another one is sex. And here 3 aspects are there in the first characteristic. We accommodate comparatively more characteristics to columns and lesser aspects to more aspects to columns and lesser aspects to rows. Now here any doubt, I think you have followed. Okay, now here instead of 2 characteristics, if it has given 3 characteristics, means here it is given class, sex, and here even it may be given the year, means here it is academic years, it may be given like this 2018-19 and 2019-20, means here how many characteristics are there? 3 characteristics, isn't it? Here one is class, second one is sex, and here it is academic year, means it refers to academic year. Okay, in the first characteristics 3 aspects, second characteristics 2 aspects, and third characteristic also 2 aspects. Now when only 2 characteristics are there, we accommodate one to columns and another one to row. Here when 3 characteristics are given, then what we have to do? We have to accommodate more number of aspects to columns, means when 3 characteristics are given, we have to club any 2 characteristics to columns and we have to take another remaining one to the rows. Now here we have to see, when we accommodate the 2 characteristics to the columns, then it should not be abnormal differences in aspects or columns and rows. That means here if we club these first 2, then we have to take 5 aspects to columns and only 2 to rows. Or even if you club class and year, also same thing, 5 aspects to columns and only 2 to rows. Instead of that, we have to club these 2, that is year and sex, we may club and take to columns and classes to rows. Now in that case, how we have to take? Here we have to write, we may take table number 2, again we have to decide the title, take the answer for the 4 questions, what the data refers to, students, where of an institution, when. Here we have to take during 2018-19 and 2019-20. Okay, now what you have to write here? Then how classified? Classified on class and sex. Here that year has covered in this question itself, when. Therefore again here how classified? We need not take the year. Remaining characteristics are classified on class and sex. Now you have to give the title, students of an institution during during 2018-19 and 2019-20 classified on, here it is difficult to write in capital letter because it is practice, during 2000 students of an institution during 2018-19 and 2019-20 classified on class and sex. Okay, now you have to start this from this side itself, because it should be above the table in the middle, that you have to follow while you work out in the examination. Okay, now as I have told you, you may write distribution of students of an institution during the year 2018-19 and 19-20 by class and sex. Okay, here also it is a blank table, therefore head note is nil. Now here we have to accommodate two characteristics to columns. Then that means here we have for captions we come across sub row. Okay, here we take, here as usual, here these two are clubbed, therefore class is class that we take to rows. Next, here we have to take year and sex. First you take 2018-19, under that we have to take boys and girls. In the year 2018-19, how many boys were there and how many girls were there, and here we have to take one more total column, that is how many students were there in the institution during the year 2018-19. Then next one is, next main column is 2019-20. Again in 2019-20, how many boys were there, how many girls were there, and what is the total strength of students in the year 2019-20. Then under class, here we come across first year, second year, third year, and total. Okay, now here this cell denotes in 2018-19 number of boys in first year, in 2018-19 number of boys in second year, number of boys in third year, number of girls in first year, number of girls in second year, number of girls in third year. Here number of students in first year, both boys and girls, number of students both boys and girls second year, number of students in third year. This cell denotes total number of boys of all the 3 years, total number of girls of all the 3 years, total number of students of the whole institution in the year 2018-19. Same in case of 2019-20. And even here also we have used abbreviations. In the footnote you have to write the expansion for the abbreviations as were taken in the previous problem. B equals boys, G equals girls, T equals total, and YR equals year. That I think I need not write again, same which we have taken in the previous problem. And here source, as I have told you, it is secondary data, it is a blank table, therefore source is nil. Only when the table is complete and when the source of data is secondary, then only we come across the source from which we have taken the data that you have to write here. Okay, if you work out the problem at home, if you take the problem from any textbook, then you may, in the source you may write the title of the textbook and the author of the textbook. Or if you take from any magazines, journals, even like that also, then or from any article, then you have to write that as the source. Now here we have come across 3 characteristics like this. If some 4 characteristics are given, then you have to accommodate 2 characteristics to columns and 2 characteristics to rows. Means there, like this sub row for captions, here you will get sub column for captions. Okay, that you may try at home. Now here, instead of 2018-19, here year has given. Here we need not club the data of 2018-19 and 19-20. We keep them separately, that is only for comparison purpose. Okay. On the other hand, instead of year, if it is given like this, for example, here instead of year, I take degree, or actually that is called program. Here if it is confusing, if I write program, then you take degree. Degree means it is familiar to you, BA, BSc, BCom, even other different courses are there. Here let us take this, BA, BSc and BCom. Now strictly speaking, it is not called degree, it is called program. Okay, for your reference I have given as degree. Now here what we have to do, here as usual 3 characteristics as like in the previous problem. Here also, here 3 aspects are there, 3, 2, 3. Okay, now inevitably we have to club any 2, means along with these 2 aspects, one of these 2 has to be clubbed. Here if we club these 2, then we take along with this sex and degree 2 column, or you may take class and sex to the column and degree to rows. If you want, you take like that also. Here how do you take, if you take class and sex to the columns. Okay, now here we have to decide the title. Then as usual, it refers to, data refers to students, where of an institution. Again here the period or the year has not given. When that data has occurred, that is not known, year has not given in the problem. Now classified on class, sex and degree or program, like this you have to take. Okay, now you have to write the title, students of an institution. Here again, here during will not come, students of an institution classified on, or distribution of students by class, sex and degree. Here students of an institution classified on, here class, sex and degree. Like this you have to write the title. Now head note as usual nil. Now how you have to draw the blank table. Now here we have clubbed class and sex to columns. Now here to the rows we take degree, and here we have to accommodate 2 characteristics, sex, class and sex. First thing, first year. Here I think here we have sufficient space, right? First year. Under that boys and girls, boys, girls total. Here close this main column. Then take second year, boys, girls, total. Close this main column. Next, third year, boys, girls, total. Now, close this main column. Now, still there we have to take one more main column. For time being, I am stopping at that stage. Now, here degree. Here we have to take BA. It is, next one is BSc, BCom, next total. Okay. Now, in the previous problem we had taken only two main columns, but here means we have not taken main total column. It was not necessary there, but here if you stop at this point, then what happens? This cell, it gives the information in first year in the program BA, how many boys are there, how many girls are there, how many total. Same in second year, boys, girls, total, BA students. Third year, boys and girls, BA students. Now, this gives total number of students in first year, BA students, total number of BA students in second year, total number of BA students in third year. Now, if the question is, what is the total BA students in the institution, then here we don't get the information. Therefore, here we have to take one main total column. Main total column. Under that, we have to take boys, girls, total. Now, this cell gives us total boys in BA in all the 3 years, and this cell gives us the total number of students in BA, means in all the 3 years, and this cell gives us the total strength of BA students in the institution. Same thing in case of BSc, BCom, and here this total gives us the boys, this cell gives us the numerical data, total number of boys in first year including BA, BSc, BCom, total number of girls in first year in all the 3 programs, and here total number of students, both boys and girls, same thing in first year, second year and third year. Like this we have to take, means when we come across for 2 different periods, then we need not club the data, numerical data of those 2 different periods, because they are for comparison purpose, we maintain them as they are. In that case, main total column is not required, but here in this type of problems, we need main total column. Okay. Now, as usual, here you have to write footnote. We have to give the abbreviations use. Here we have used the abbreviation B equals boys, G equals girls, T equals total. That's all that you have to write same. Then again source. Source as usual, it is blank table nil. And here you have to write the head note above the table right side. Head note is nil. I think you have followed how to draft a blank table. Okay. Now in the next session I will take the preparation of complete table. Thank you.